live. Let's just review what happened. So previously, on that last video we recorded, we had seen Bitcoin, playing within its range. As you see, if we zoom out to a higher time frame, Bitcoin found resistance here, support, resistance, is trading through it, come back through it. All this momentum right here is just trading through it. We found support at it, traded through it, broke through it, retest, sold, support here, we found resistance here, and we found support here. And just like I said previously, you know what I'm saying, you have your point 1 and your point 2 here. And that's how this trend line was drawn. We see there has been a shift in trend by a few things. And those things are, we're following a trend, we're playing in a range, consolidating. We reached the support level, which likely means we're heading up to our resistance. If we just look what price done, every time price hit this support, it went up, support, it went up, support, it went up. And price hit support here, we was anticipating for price to do the same thing. And we look for key things, candlesticks. We look for a break of structure. Like I mentioned in the previous live, we have this structure right here. We have a high, we have a lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. Price touches this zone. Then we had this break of structure where this high actually broke above this high. So now this is a higher high relative to the previous high. Then price sold. Now we have a higher low relative to the previous low. And then again, price broke above this high, broke above this high as well. Another break of structure, and continue to make another higher low. So it goes this low, lower high, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. And price ultimately came to, well, prior to that, what I'm going to say, we drew a fib here. We placed our fib at the lowest point to our highest point, which was this break of structure. And, the second point to our trend line. So we placed that trend line there. Impulse, this is your correction, 61.8, and continuation. So what Bitcoin did on our previous live, it made it to -27. And my thing was going into it seeing what price could potentially be doing, since price made it to this -27. And now I actually didn't notice this on the last stream. I actually hit this level right here as a resistance, this previous high point. Came to it, found this resistance. So going into that live, we were saying, okay, we're going to draw the zone here, which is the previous high where Bitcoin just broke. And this is a level that we'll be watching for price to actually react off of. We actually set an alert and all those things. So Bitcoin hit -27. It started to sell off. It came back to this previous high that it broke. Then it began to buy up again. Looking at these bearish variations that we had. So price hit the zone, and we had a bullish engulfing candlestick. Bullish engulfing candlestick is, let's see if we can highlight it, is this pattern here. We see we have a bearish candle, bearish candle, bearish candle, bearish candle, bearish candle. Bearish candle meaning the price is going down. Price is pushing lower. It's opening high and it's closing lower. Then our next candle was a bullish engulfing. So it opened at this level, which is our support, and it actually engulfed, meaning it the body, the best way to say it, the body of the candlestick engulfed, basically covered the whole previous candle. So we see here, this is the body here of this bearish candle, and our next candle is a bullish engulfing. So we see this, just half of it will be covering this whole previous candlestick, but this actually went as far as all the way up here to the high that it made and engulfed that. So that is a bullish variation. They can tell us that price is beginning to find buyers there, um, and that's what it did. It pushed up, started to move sideways, accumulate. Then what it did, boom, 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 boom. All these nice volume candlesticks that it made. What time was this? 8 in the morning. New York session. And price currently has made it very clear. I mean, not very clear, but very close to our negative 61.8, which is our reversal zone. And, which is also our area of interest, which is our next resistance point, a stopping point. And just like our previous recording, we mentioned this type of candlestick variation with this smaller body, with this long wick like that. That is something called a shooting star. And that also could be an indication of a reversal. One thing I do want to say about these candlesticks, they're most the word I'm trying to say, well, the thing that came to my head, they're most likely to happen, but that's not what I was trying to use. They're most, can't think of the word right now, but okay, there's a high probability of that candle being the indication of what it's going to do at certain levels. So, for instance, let me put that back. This bullish engulfing candle here, let's change this like that. Nah, that ain't really good. That ain't good in there. Well, let's just erase it. This bullish candle here was a high probability candlestick or pattern, just because it's at this level of support here. And I'm going to show you an example of where you can see something like that and it's not highly probable, whatever word I'm trying to look for. Look at this right here, for example. Another one, honestly, look just like this one right here. You have a bearish candle, then you have a bullish engulfing, and they look pretty much identical how those candles are. So you have a bearish candle, then you have a bullish engulfing. That right there could be an indication like, oh, price is going to begin to buy here. Let me get into a position for a buy. And price does, start to push up for a little bit. However, as we see how price played out, it continued to sell. And then went down to this support zone that we have here. So that would have been a bad trade that you enter, because the likelihood of price doing what it's showing was a low chance, just because we had this zone right here. It was a low chance of this bullish engulfing being the actual bullish engulfing, saying, okay, we're about to buy here, was pretty low, because we had this zone here, a more major level. More people have their eyes on this zone here. There's more volume here. There's more buy orders, potential to sell orders, all at this area here. So when we're looking at those candlesticks, you want to be aware where you are in the market relative to. So you really want to pay attention to time as well. Time, and also where you are in the market. Are you at a support, resistance level, a key level? Honestly, that's it. A psychological price. Psychological prices like whole numbers, quarter numbers, like you have 5, 1, 5, 10, 25, 2. Like these are whole psychological numbers. Then you have your quarter numbers, which is if it was 1 was your whole number, then you have 125, 150, 175. Those are your quarter levels. So those are significant levels as well. So you just have to be mindful of a few things like that as well. But looking at this, we have a few things here. Price made it to our negative 61.8, didn't really touch it. We are printing this bearish variation candle, which is a shooting star. We're close to this zone here. So it could be valid because how close we are to the zone. But then again, we have yet to actually touch that zone, even touch this negative 61.8 price point. So keeping an eye on that, there could just be an indication that price is going to reverse, potentially come to this level of support before it buys up. But there's Bitcoin. And just like how we always say, I know we just did a quick analysis on what price currently is doing. We always start on our higher time frame just to see what price is doing. That is called a top-down analysis. You want to get your overall view of what the market is doing prior to getting what the market is doing on your intraday time frame, such as the 1 hour, what we were just on. Okay, so we see Bitcoin just overall bullish. We're making a series of higher highs and higher lows. We're currently at that stage of making our higher high. And just following the sequence of, what price does, we would be looking for a price to actually make some type of correction before we get a continuation. So one thing I want to say with that, you can easily still trade this, even though it's a high. Let's see if I can get it here. I want to give an example. Okay, I give an example on something else that's more clear. But I say that because, actually, I'm going to explain it when we jump down to our lower time frame. But overall, Bitcoin bullish, we see that, like I said, we did print this candle here with, like we showed on the lower time frame, it has this long wick right here with this body towards the bottom of the candle, which can indicate a sale to be coming. Selling momentum coming in. So we are mindful of that. We are at a high. We are at a psychological level, which is 100. So just you see how all these things, what we call confluences, are being played as variables in our analysis and our thinking. So overall, we're still bullish, but if we know how structure works, we have a buy, we have a sell, we have a buy, we have a sell, we have a buy, we have a sell, we have a buy, looking for a sell soon. And like I said, our reasons just following structure. We are in the impulse stage, and the next stage will be our correction. We made a new all-time high. The previous month candle that printed was a bearish candle. We had a psychological level, which is 100. And there's just a lot of things just saying, a sale could be coming soon for us. But we'll be looking at what price is doing on our lower time frame so that we can actually get those confirmations on the lower time frames. And we'll talk about what certain things that we'll be looking for. What I should be doing is actually taking notes down so I can remember some of these things. Let me write this down. What to look for? And what was the other thing I said? How got our 2 questions down. So even if it try to slip my mind, hey, look over. All right. Monthly on Bitcoin, still bullish. We're seeing a closer look of what that candlestick done. So we had a bullish candle. We had these nice wick exhaustions pushing price up, just showing price is still going up. Bullish, bullish, bullish. Then we had this nice bearish candle, bearish engulfing. It engulfed this previous candle, and it goes that previous candle and that previous candle. So it engulfed 3 weeks of Bitcoin trading, all in this one month here. Not month, week. So bearish engulfing. We get down to our daily time frame. We see that price is trading within the level of support and resistance. Trading within a level of support and resistance. Then you get down to your 4 hours, you get a more closer look, kind of similar to your daily, but you get more candle details. And we see on the 4-hour time frame, price is starting to make a bearish candle. But like I always say, this is a 4-hour candle. Look at the time right here. It's going to take 2 hours and 57 minutes remaining for us to actually validate what price is doing on the 4-hour time frame. I can easily say, oh, we're creating this bearish candle and price is going down. And that's true. That's what we're seeing now. But we had to pay attention to how the candle closed. Each candle that we're seeing have closed. This is now a live, active candle. All these candles closed. So I can easily say, oh, we're having this bearish variation and the price is starting to push down. I can say that because it closed. But for this candle to still be open, I can say that, but price could easily come down, stop at some level, and begin to push up. So it would be more, I can say something like that on a lower time frame. Like if we jump down to like 15 minutes, or we got a 30-minute or hour close, that would be more valid for my speech, not my speech, but my not my speech. What am I trying to say? My statement, I guess, to be true or not, verified or not. But we still have too much time on this candle just to say, okay, it's pushing down. However, I can be looking at lower time frame structure to confirm those things. And that kind of going to my question that I had. Not exactly, but we can get into it. So I say, okay, on the 4-hour, we're starting to make this bearish variation. Okay, we could be selling. Okay, that is my observation. And let's confirm that what I said is true. So what we have to do is jump down to a lower time frame. Okay, we see that we had this shooting star candlestick. Next candle's bearish, and it's still pushing down. Okay, let's jump down to a lower time frame. We still see it's pushing down. Okay, so we made a high, we had a low. This is a lower high, and we still pushing down. So we broke that low. So looking at things like that, like the breaker structure, they can confirm what we're saying. So if we are continuously seeing a breaker structure, which is breaking or selling below the low, they can validate my statement as far as, okay, the 4 hours is going to continue selling. If we are constantly seeing a break of structure, if we seeing this right here, 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 here. If we're constantly seeing that on our 15-minute, we can easily say, okay, our 4-hour is going to continue to sell. So those are the things that you can look for on a lower time frame, just to confirm what you're seeing on the higher time frame. Let's see. So we're about 20 minutes in on Bitcoin. We still have other periods to go over. So yeah, I guess I answered that. what I was saying, what to look for in a lower time frame. The other thing I wanted to go over is how you can buy the high, because there is a statement within the trading um, world that you buy at the low, you sell at the high. You buy low, sell high. Buy low, sell high. Buy low, sell high. You buy low. When price is low, you buy. When price is high, you sell. When price is low, you buy. When price is high, you sell. Price is low, you buy. Price is high, you sell. Which is true. I'm not disagreeing with that. It's true. But let me give you a quick example how you can sell at the low and buy at the high. And actually, those terms is called a breakout. So let's just say, like this, for instance, it's a breakout. This is our high, this is our low. We sell at the high, near this high, we're starting to look to sell, we start to push down. We get here at this point, we see this nice bullish candle. Of course, well, a few things that would have told you to get in that. You had this Fibonacci here. This is your impulse, your correction, your continuation. Impulse, your correction, your continuation. So at this point, we clearly see that is at a high. So following that statement, oh, we're at a high, let's begin to sell. And just like you see, the next candle, super bullish, pushed all the way up and broke above the high. So price actually continued higher. That is called a breakout. But technically, within this right here, price patterns, that is called a fake out. And it's called a fake out because we see price did break above, but it failed to come back, hold support, and continue higher. So what price did, it broke out, it reached out negative 61.8, then it came back in this range. You see? It so came back to this range. For it to be a true breakout, we would want to, well, that is a true breakout. What we would like to see, though, to see a breakout and continuation and higher pricing, we would want to see something like this. You see, it broke out. We came back and found support here at this level, which was previous our resistance, and began to continue higher. That's what you want to pay attention to for a continuation for the buy. This was for the buy, but not for the continuation of the buy. Because like I said, on this Fibonacci level, it reached out negative 61.8, which is reversing. Price did reverse, but it had a lot of volume pushing all the way down back into the zone. So that's how you can buy the high. A little more advanced, like I said, is all a part of structure. So what they saying is true about buy at the low, sell at the high. That's true statement. But you can also buy the high and sell at a low. And we can find a similar example of how we can sell at a low. There'll just be another breakout. And another structure. But yeah, this is what we currently have for Bitcoin. What we're doing from here, though, is actually looking and seeing what price does, obviously. If price, continue, find resistance here, break above, come here, find support at this negative 27, trade through this level. So you just have to be reactive with the market and just see what price is doing, and you react based off of it. Seeing this right here is being reactive. Okay, price made it to this level, started to push up, and broke this high. Okay, it's likely that price is going to continue on up. And what it did, the next candle, it did push on up. So you just want to pay attention to things like that and just be reactive to the markets. But you do want to have your key levels of interest or your price points of interest to be looking for. so that you can, you know what I'm saying, confirm the things that you saying or the things that you see. So what I'll do, for example, we had alert here on the previous one. What you would do, you put an alert here at this level of support, or you have another alert here at this level of resistance. Because what you want to do is box in price. Price is in the middle of these two areas. Let's box it in. Let's put an alert here. Let's put an alert here. Whichever one hits first, let's see what price start to do when it react to this level. So that's how you want to go about doing that. So let's actually draw the zone again before we do that. So let's go right here. I'll tell you what I do with my zones. So I easily could. So what I always do, I would start at the close. Start the close of the count. This is the close. All this is wicks right here. That means price has like a footprint there. Okay, it put a footprint there, but it took a step back. You know what I'm saying? That shows that it wants to go this way, but it's not ready yet. It took a step there, and it started to walk backwards. That's a footprint. So what I look for is actually the close of the candle, which is would have been this level right here. That's the close. And like I was going to say, I could have easily, did it like this, put this zone that big, but you want to, there's another thing called touch, gap, overlap. Touch, gap, overlap. And what that shows is this right here. Touch, gap, overlap. You see how, like I said, this is the bottom of my zone here. And this point here is touching. It's touching. Let's change this color right quick. Let's go to, I don't think I'm using orange, so let's use orange. That right there is touching. This right here is gapping, and this right here is overlapping. You see? Touch, gap, overlap. So with your zone, it's touching your zone here. It's gapping your zone, which means it's not touching you. It came close to it and stopped. Then you overlap. It touched your zone and went through it. Overlap. Touch, gap, overlap. So I look for things like that when it comes for me drawing my zone. So that's why I chose that particular price point or placement of the zone, placement of price, I would say, to draw my zone. So, and we'll get into more examples of that. Let's see, something like this is a little different. See, same. So, an example like this, you see, I didn't do the close here, but I did start it up here. It gets a little advanced, you know what I'm saying? But let's see if I can explain the reason why I did that. I believe at the time when this happened, this was already printed and this was already printed. So you can kind of see it right here though, honestly. And I really didn't see that right here. So I really just used that point here into that high. I mean, you can kind of see how the touch gap overlap is still being replicated here. But you really can see here, overlap, pretty much a tap, and there's a gap, touch gap overlap. Can't really explain it. I just, sometimes you just do things, you see things, you do it, and you know what I'm saying? You really don't understand or don't have the full reasoning why you're doing, but you do see how it did come back to the top of that area. Use just the tip of it and continue higher. Um, and honestly, I just like to have my zones much smaller because I don't like to have big zones um, like this right here, for instance. Like this zone is too big for me on the owl, so I would rather have something much more conservative and more precise. That's the word I'm looking for. Something more precise, because I can have that big zone like that, and price have all this right here price point to move in. Okay, so price get in here. I'm looking for a buy or whatever price to do, but it has this much space to do it. But if we narrow it down to this much, okay, price does some type of movement in this area, we own it. But yeah, so we got this level of support here. Like I said, you set an alert. We can do it at the top of it, add alert. So we get alert what price does. If we get to that point, then same thing here, set an alert there. So we at the high and the low. Like I said, price in between these 2 points and we boxing price in. All right, I know we spent a lot of time on BTC, but BTC is what I think personally something that you would want to focus on, just because you know what I'm saying what it's been doing. Let's look at this right here. This what BTC has been doing. You know what I'm saying? Great returns, outperforming the stock market. There's a lot of things. So to give your focus to this, more time to that, hey, you ain't doing nothing wrong, baby. All right, but let's go ahead down to oil. As we see, oil is continuing. We had this 4-hour structure here, impulse, your correction, your continuation. Oil is sitting directly under our -27. However, it is in this daily zone. So just like how I was saying, I like to narrow it down. We see this is a bigger zone. However, this is a daily zone. If we jump to the daily, it's still a big zone. Like, I can't deny that. It's still a big zone. But this the most narrowest and precise it's going to get, because the price closed under it, you know what I'm saying? You react from it like that. If price closed above it, you begin to react to it like that. Um, but at the time when we recorded our previous video, it was somewhere up here and started to sell. And I extended this trend line to see if, well, there would have been a lot of selling momentum if price did, you know what I'm saying, sell all the way down here. However, you want to pay attention to the structure that you do have very close to price. So as this was starting to sell, we have to remember that we have this slight structure here. So I thought of something in my head real quick. I'm trying to see if I want to say it, and if I do say it, am I saying the correct thing? I believe the statement I'm gonna say is correct. So looking at this price point right here, we see it looked like consolidation. It looked like a buy and sell, but ultimately moving sideways. This right here is balanced price. This is balanced price. The market is imbalanced. And why I say the market is imbalanced? Look at this. It's straight buys. Oh, there's imbalance. All the buyers are, operating. Okay, it's starting to sell. Okay, it's starting to balance itself out. It came all the way down. It balanced itself out. Oh, it began to buy. It's imbalance. You know what I'm saying? Oh, it's pushing up. There's imbalance here. All this right here. Because the buyers had control of that. No sellers had anything, not much to do with, you know what I'm saying, price anywhere between here. Besides, this small choppiness that it did. But the market is an imbalanced place. It's imbalanced because buyers take control, sellers take control. And when things are balanced, you will see consolidation like this. It starts to move sideways. So buyers having, um, their price point and sellers having their price points. Don't really know why I shared that. I guess you know you can use it if it benefits you. But looking at this here, we see we have a level of support now. And sometimes what I like to do, you see how, just like how I said, I use the close and I use the top of the wick, and it's a small zone. Sometimes I would do something like this. Sometimes I would do something like that. And all I did was extend it down lower to this close here. And you see how it's actually playing out. Um, where it came down to this area and its wick and finding support before it actually started to push up. Um, but yeah, let's erase that. But yeah, and that's just, you know, it came, it was buying, it found some support and began to push up. Overall, oil is still bullish right now. I'm looking forward to reach our negative 27. And also, we look to our left, we see this also a level of, this is a level that we just broke above. So it found support here as well. Oil, like I said, overall looking forward to continue higher, get to our negative 27. And we just see what price does from there. Let's look at the higher time frames. Like this right here. I would say this is a balance because no new high was made, no new low was made. So completely balanced until we start to sell. Until we start to sell, until we start to buy, until we start to buy. So currently it looks like we're in what you would say a balanced market. Just because no new low was made, no new high was made. We're trading in between it. But just like I said, if we drew a trend line out here, we broke structure, broke above the trend line, potential retest that trend line, made the high, broke above all these highs, closed above these highs, and price sold down at this level of support here. A lot of consolidation. This week is very bullish. It's pushing up. What is it? 21 hours? Is that really? Okay, so no, that's 21 minutes. Pardon me. I did 21 hours. So in 21 minutes, this week will be closing, and this is a nice candlestick to close at. So we see how all these weeks traded down here at this level. But this week actually, you know, done something different. It closed all the way up here. It closed above all these candles. So for me to say something like that, like for me to say it's gonna close at this level, I can say that even though this is a weekly candle, I know how I was explaining, you know, like it's 4 hours, it's a 4 hour candle, and it's nearly 3 hours left in the candle for me to say, oh, price is going to do this. I can say that because, for one, it's a weekly candle and it's 20 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Like the time frame for something to happen is very narrow. You know what I'm saying? For price to do something to where it's like, okay, for what I'm gonna say is invalid. Is a weekly candle, which is 5 days. Um, so if you use the ratio of 5 days and 20 minutes, like, come on, man. This stuff right here is I can say that, or you can say that because it's 20 minutes left. I know I just said that about 3 times, but sometimes you got to reiterate to yourself. And if I said that correctly or incorrectly, hey, this is my first time saying it irradiates. It iterates. What I said, I think I said it right the first time. I can't even say it now. Well, pardon me, I don't mean I can't say it. I didn't say it right. We see still pushing up. We're getting close to it. I'm kind of speed through it now. Like I said, we do want to spend a lot more time on Bitcoin. But yeah, you see we closing all these highs on the daily. 18 minutes left on this daily candle. Still constant making highs. Um, so ultimately, trend is still bullish, but like what we have here, we at this level of resistance. So it's really close right at this level of resistance. So next week we'll truly see what price is doing to see if we're going to continue to push up. We're going to find some type of sell to find some support to continue up. Just gonna have to react from it. But overall, oil has been bullish for the week, bullish for the days. It's near now -27, and we'll continue to see it go up. And just like I said, you just want to box in price, so I can go alert here. This is our -27. Your next one would be at this level of at this level here. So box in price. You want to set your alerts. Gold, interesting. Pardon me. Pardon me. Interesting. So currently gold is at this level here that we broke above. 30 minutes, we'll see how it close. So right fast, the reason why I chose these pairs, I know I kind of explained in our previous video live. I just think when I recently looked up the most valuable assets. Gold number one, nearly 18 trillion from the what I had seen. Nearly 18 trillion value. And on that list was also Bitcoin. Bitcoin, still young on the list, pretty low. Gold being number one. I believe when I seen it, Bitcoin was like maybe number 7. But I seen a list prior to that when it was like number 10 or something like that in the teens. And it's actually making its way up that list. So I think we still have a long way to go with Bitcoin. We can easily, continue to capitalize off of, what's coming to happen with Bitcoin. It could still be in its early stages or in its stages where, we can still make it shake. So that's why I chose Bitcoin gold, you know what I'm saying? Most valuable asset when things are uncertain in the markets, the economy, people buy gold. So it's a safe haven. Um, Oil, of course, so one reason why I use oil or I chose oil on this list because this is a commodity that we all use. Um, I understand some things are starting to transition into electric using energy, um, and those things. But I recently looked up. Well, I didn't actually look this up. I heard this from Yahoo Finance, and they were just saying lower class focus or spent their money on a few things: rent, food, and gas. Those are where your money is going. Rent, food, and gas. Gas as far as travel, moving around, um, keeping heating your house, like all that gas. So I only thought it was right for me to have oil on here, because it pretty much tell you how the economy is going. Then you know what I'm saying. You know if price is gonna be high for this week, you can expect, you know what I'm saying, gas prices to be higher. Or if you see it low, okay, gas prices starting to be cheap. So now I don't know if I said this in the last video, but uh, when gas prices are low, you're more inclined to travel, to move around. Okay, I have more gallons to travel, if I said that correctly. But I believe you know what I'm trying to say. When price is cheaper, you're more likely to travel because you'll be saving way more money opposed to prices being high and trying to travel. But yeah, let's look at Bitcoin. I mean, not Bitcoin, gold. So we see gold. I believe we was at this level here last time. Yep. And gold began to sell. We're currently at this level here. And since we're on a 4-hour time frame, let's actually do it as a 4-hour. So it's going to be green. Four-hour. So currently at this level, we'll see what price does. We'll see if it stops here. Trades do it. Come find this level of support and begin to buy. We'll just watch it. This is actually a good point for gold. Because you have your highs, your lows, and you have a midpoint. Your highs, your lows, your midpoints of what price is doing. So in that case, the top of this is our high because we see resistance. Price got here, it's sold. Got here, it's sold. This is our high. This is our low. Price got here, it bought. Got here, it bought. Got here, it bought. We got our high, we got our low, and we got our midpoint. So the midpoint relative to where price is currently is right here, where it is now. So seeing what price does at this midpoint, they can tell you what price is going to go next. That's just like if price continues to slow down, it's like there's a likelihood that we're gonna head down to the bottom here. If price start to push up, make those bullish variations, there's a likelihood the price is going to go up here. So you just want to pay attention to those things: your highs, your lows, your midpoints. Like I said, you want to box in price. Let's see. I'm kind of speeding through it now. Really not much to look at. We see that we did reach our negative 27. We did make a pattern here. So, like I said, at this level, let's just look at our higher time frame real quick, like we always do. Gold bullish, obviously, as we see, it's up to one side. We did have this selling momentum here. A little push down. We broke this low, a little push down. Like I said, at the last video, we did have this nice bullish engulfing candle here on the weekly. But price is starting to push down just a bit, but with small volume. So could be an indication that price is slowing down. We can take it as that it's slowing down. Kind of in the balance area. Or you can see it as indecision because price hasn't, gotten any lower or gotten any higher. So that also can be recognized as indecision. Like people are unsure of what the market is going to do, how things are looking. And we're back here at the 4-hour. Okay, so let's go to SPX. SPX 500. 500 stocks that made the list, made the cut. Like I said, I haven't really got to this point of studying it, so I haven't really charted it up just yet. But for it to be on my list, let's still take a look at it. And with this one, we're actually going to start our higher time frame bullish, as we see clearly. I don't remember. Let's see. Okay, well, it is. So nice wick push up from these zones here. Nice wick pushing up price. I don't know, they just look kind of different to me, but I'm pretty sure they're right. Yeah. So that right here honestly could be a bullish variation just to tell us the price is likely to continue higher just from something like that, what it's doing. So for this, you actually want to set alert on because you want to, like I said, box in price. So this the low. Then you also want to box in this high, or you can do it. You can kind of make it smaller by putting in like this level here to see, okay, price is pushing through it. It's likely to go here, or it start to sell here. Why is it not telling me that? But yeah, SPX is looking like it's found support. We look at the lower time frames. It's looking like it's breaking structure just by a bit. So let's see about that. Like I said, I really haven't studied this yet, charted anything up, just looking at it. We spend more time talking about Bitcoin, we get into oil, and we get into gold. But I shared a lot of information in this video. A lot of notes can be taken. A lot of things can be learned from this video. Yeah, a lot of things can be taken from this video. But until our next session, we just gonna, continue doing what we're doing.